Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Michael Merriman, and today I'm here to show you my top 4 list from the Milwaukee Regional that was Goblin Biker. So I took this to the Milwaukee, Wisconsin Regional and got top 4 with it. I'm going to go over my card list, my choices and why I played them, and my reasoning, and kind of like giving you some feedback like this was a good pick or if it wasn't a good pick, and then showing you 1 to 2 combos in case you are interested in playing this deck, which one combo is going to include the Fiendsmith, one version is not going to include Fiendsmith, and just in case you are not able to afford those cards. So I'm just going to kind of go over everything, and yeah, this video is sponsored by the Grind TCG, so please check them out. I'll have a description to their TCG store in the description below, and this should be on the Grind TCG YouTube channel too, so check them out on that. So let's start going over the deck that's on your screen. So again, I took this to the Milwaukee Regional and placed 4th place with this out of, I believe, like 287 people. So I'm just going to go over my card choices and how I liked them. So I'm just going to honestly just go in a row, kind of engine by engine. So with the Goblin ratios, I played 3 Doug, 2 Clattersploder, 2 Gone Wild, 1 Mean Merc, and 1 Boomok. So Doug was honestly an amazing card to start off with in a turn, because he and Gone Wild over here are 1-card combos. They get to really insane boards if uninterrupted. And the great thing about Goblin Bikers is that their whole shtick is that they attach materials from XYZ monsters. And what happens to be arguably the best deck in the format? Ryzeal. So, I thought this was a good pick. So, Doug can detach material off of a XYZ monster to summon itself from hand. And then, when summoned, you search a Spell Trap Goblin Biker card. So the idea is that you detach a material off of like a detonator, summon this, search like Grand Entrance or Breakout, and then kind of just keep stealing your opponent's materials if you go uninterrupted. I mean, granted, yes, you have to deal like detonator pops and cross, but you can play through that very easily in this deck. Gone Wild, when summoned, lets you summon one from deck, and it can also normal summon itself if you control only goblins or if you control no monsters. So even though it's level 6, you can just drop it for free and get a summon from deck, which is insanely good. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can also target a card on the field, any card, and attach it to a Goblin XYZ. So you can attach it to your Kabunga down here, and you can get rid of very problematic cards. For example, I know a topping list that's going around the internet right now is the Buster Bleeder deck that got, I believe, like 5th place at the same regional. I went against that guy, and he Buster locked me. I had to link this card off. Like, I normal summoned it, linked it off with another body on my board in order to take the Buster Blader fusion and put it under my Gamunga so I can actually play the game. So this effect is insanely strong. And the 2 Clattersploder, I play that for grind purposes. Like, after you lose the first one, it is really hard to play if you're only playing 1, and you just start losing to like Ryzeal's like grind game, Malice's grind game. So I played a second because also what's really nice about it is that if you just top deck it, you just start all over where you were at. So I think 2 is a perfect number. And then there's the 1 Boomok and the 1 Mean Merc. Boomok is really strong, and I will inform you why if you do not know. So he says specifically, once per chain during the main phase, if this is in your hand or graveyard, detach material from either field and special summon it. You cannot special summon Boomok until the end of the next turn. Now, what's cool about this card is it doesn't say once per turn. So hypothetically, say your opponent has like a a Wave King on board. You would activate Boomok in hand and go, okay, Boomok, take a material off of the Wave King. Your opponent's going to be like, okay, I'll negate it. I'm going to lose material anyway, so I just won't give you the body. And you go, okay, new chain, Boomok. And they're going to go, what? Since he's now once per turn, you can just endlessly keep using Boomok's effect to special summon itself by eating up materials, as long as he wasn't properly special summoned. So Wave King constantly negating it is just going to result in a Boomok just completely eating a Wave King. So 1 Boomok turns itself into basically an imperm on a Wave King Caesar. So I thought that was really neat. I mean, I didn't know this during the regional. I wish I did, because if so, I would have so done this. But yeah, I'm going to use this knowledge moving forward against my Fiendsmith plays. And then there's Mean Merc. It's just Marauding Captain with summoning a guy from hand. But it can also detach a material from a guy, any XYZ while it's in the graveyard to summon itself as spell speed 1, which is really neat because when you're on the crackback and, you know, your board's kind of empty and your opponent's got like 1 XC monster, you can go, okay, Mean Merc, detach off of your XC, summon it, and then kind of just start building a board again, which is really nice. I only played 1-1 because they really don't do much. I might honestly play a second Boombox just for the interaction it has with Wave King. So that's it for the Goblin ratios. Let's move on to cards people are more familiar with, aka the Fiendsmith. So I played 2 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, 1 Lurie. Honestly, if I could play 3 Engraver, I would. This card's nuts. It does normal Fiendsmith stuff that everyone's kind of familiar with, like the aforementioned Wave King Caesar, but you also have Desiree, and all that fun little Link stuff. But what's really nice about it is that it allows you to go into rank 6 plays that isn't just Wave King. And why that's important is because Goblins have their own rank 6, being Goblin Crazy Beast. I will mention him more in depth when we get to him, but Engraver just being able to make more rank 6 plays for your deck is really nice. Also, him just being constant, just grind game, which is something Goblins really need, is a grind game engine, is also really nice. So yeah, I would play 3 Engraver. This card was nuts. Lacrima, as you can tell in the list, I did not play a single Paradise. Looking back, I should play one inside, just so when I'm going first, or maybe I'll main one. I'm not certain. I just don't want to break on the card. But Lacrima was a really nice normal summon, just so I could bridge into Wave King or Goblin Crazy Beast. So yeah, I enjoyed it. And Lurie is he's just a chill little dude. If I draw him, I still combo. Oh yeah, and the one tracked. It's tracked. This thing also being a thrust target is insanely strong. I searched it a couple times with thrust. Next, we move on to another weird engine that many Goblin lists, if you look, don't play, which is Cashiers. So I played 2 Unicorn, 1 Fenrir, 1 Pressure Planet, 1 Birth. I honestly copied this ratio from a topping deck in Anaheim. I think it was a Malice Cashier list from Jeff Jones, I believe it was. I'm not completely certain who it was. But this engine just was nuts. Unicorn being able to just tell your opponent, hey, no hand traps, or I know what you're playing. They hand trapped anyway, and I knew what they were playing. Being able to banish both detonators out of your opponent's extra deck or ripping apart their Fiendsmith engine is so strong. It's nuts. I think more decks should play this engine. It's great. And then Fenrir is just a really good going second card. What I like to do with Fenrir is if I'm going first, I would play Fenrir, search the Unicorn, then link Fenrir off like a random hand trap or like a random Goblin. Go into Moon, then Requiem, and if they negate the Requiem, which I don't want to happen, but just in case it does, I drop Unicorn, then Unicorn search Birth, then Birth bring back Fenrir, and now you lost a card in your hand, and I have 2 very intimidating monsters. And maybe still another combo in case I drew Fiendsmith stuff, which can't happen. That's just a really nice interaction this deck has, and it's another grind engine with aka Birth. So, it fixes the same problem that Goblins have, which is grind game. And help going second too. So yeah, I was very happy with this engine. This engine just I wouldn't say overperformed, but it performed really well. Next is just your extenders. 3 Terror Top, Ataka Tomborg, both Wielder and Tracker and Yan Yan. This is just a 1 card rank 3. What more? What am I doing? No, I'm playing through Lacrima. Anyway, about that. So yeah, Terror Top is just a 1 card rank 3, which is really nice. A lot of people forget to know is that it works off of specifically, it can also work off of normal summon, which you might think, oh, isn't important, because you're just going to special summon it all the time. But there have been cases where I draw this and a Unicorn, I go, okay, special the Unicorn, search Birth, normal Terror Top, search Takatom, and then still do rank 3 plays with the Unicorn insulating my combo to help with Gabunga. So yeah, if you play this deck, please remember, you can normal Terror Top and still combo. It's still good. And then just Tracker, Wielder, they're just nice extenders where if you just control level 3, you special summon them. I don't really care for the other effects. But yeah, they're still pretty nice. I always kind of sided them out going games 2 and 3 because I'd rather see power cards like Thrust or Lancia in those games rather than an extender. And then there's the 1 Yan Yan. Oh, and I guess the 3 Heateli. It's Heateli, we all know why we play it. And 1 Yan Yan. This card, in theory, was really good. Basically, what you do is you would summon it, and then you like randomly, use it for XYZ material into Gabunga or Gossip Shadow, or maybe link it off an IP Masquerena. And then when it gets back to your turn or during your opponent's turn, you summon a level 3, and Yan Yan comes right back, even if you just summon like an Ash Blossom. this helps give you kind of quote-unquote an infinite grind game into just allowing you not to lose, which, hey, it's the same thing I mentioned before, grind game fix. But the problem was Nyan just sucked so much to open or draw, and I kind of realized that when there were some games where I had it in my hand from the start and never played it. Never did. Like, it never left my hand, and I think that is really bad for a card in a deck, especially like this, where every card kind of needs to be playable. So moving forward, I'm cutting Nyan, and I'm thinking of either putting in a second Rice-Off so I have quicker access to Unicorn, or a third Engraver. Either or, whichever I'm feeling. Or maybe the Paradise with the Lacrima. I mean, they're technically both bricks, but one does cooler stuff than the other. So yeah, I think this engine was pretty nice. Just quick bodies I need in case, you know, like Doug got stopped and I didn't start with Cashiers or Engraver. So yeah, this engine was really good. Oh, I forgot to mention the Goblin spell traps. 3 Grand Entrance, 2 Breakout. These cards are phenomenal. Grand Entrance alone breaks a whole Ryzia board by itself because you just go, okay, search a dude, rip a material off detonator, summon the dude, and then your dude will get a search like Doug, and if they go detonator, pop it, you are fine because, like, hypothetically, say you search Breakout, you go Grand Entrance, remove another material from detonator, so they already lost 3 materials from one you activating this, them popping, and then you activating it again to get rid of another material to add back the Doug, hypothetically. Normal the Doug, and then use Breakout, and then do full combo, not needing to worry about, what's it called? Brain, I'm sorry. Worry about detonator pops, which is so good, especially now, and this being a thrust target is so good. So yeah, this card's nuts. And then Breakout allows you to just tribute a Goblin, summon a Goblin, and it's nice, especially when you'll open, like, maybe just Unicorn by itself and then Breakout. You just Unicorn, search, birth, break it out, summon out, Gone Wild, birth, reborn, Unicorn, and then you're off to the races. So yeah, Breakout just being able to kind of meld with the other engines works so nicely, especially when one of them gets, like, impermed or something. Like, if they imperm Lacrima, you can chain Breakout, get rid of the Lacrima, summon Gone Wild, and then just still combo and still have to send off Lacrima. That's actually going to be one of the combos I show. So yeah, I'm happy with these ratios 100%. Then just random other, I'm sorry. The random other, like, engine requirement is Full Armor XE. This is the only other brick in the deck. This, Birth, Nyan. Those are the only 3, like, actual bricks in the deck. And I guess maybe Lurie, but Lurie can still combo by itself. But no, this card is so good. It makes games that aren't winnable. Like, its last effect to equip an XYZ from Graveyard to do nutty things, because what you'd mainly, like, 99% of the time you're equipping Armor Fortress, and Armor Fortress just gives it double damage. So when you, like, attack into you, you go, okay, equip this. Now you die in battle, and I'm dealing double damage. Or you go for a quick O.T.G and kill them with this. It's nice. Now we go to the non-engine. Hand traps, we're playing 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, 3 Nibiru, 3 Imperm, and 3 Molcharmy. I'll just give a quick, like, it's 17, and 2 Talents. It's 17 non-engine. I think it was a nice amount to work with because I'm always opening at least 1 in my hand, which I want. I always wanted at least 1 non-engine, and a good chance to draw 2. Because, like, if I go into Ryzia, 1 or 2 is just enough, and then just my Extenders and engine was great. But against Mouse, I needed to make sure, like, hey, I needed to draw a non-engine so I can break the board. If I can't break the board, I lose. Then, yeah, so Ash is just generically good. Also, a nice thing between these two is that they're level 3, so if I draw it with, like, a tracker or something, or an E-Telly, I can combo into our Lord and Savior Kabunga. Also, this can be summoned off E-Telly, so if you need to, you can set the teleport and then just summon it on your opponent's turn, so they have to deal with another interruption. But yeah, Ash, Ogre were nice. Nibiru only came up a few times, but when it did, it saved me. So yeah, this card's just nice, broken. Molcharmy, this card, it felt nice playing Maxi again, honestly. This literally would end people's turns or commit, like, nothing, not even a single interruption. Now I draw, like, 1 to 2 cards. And I just win off of that. It's so dumb. I've had Fool Loss, like, dropped on me, like, once or twice. And I just did simple Kabunga, search Boomlock, set Breakout Pass. And that was enough to just win a game. Because it was very low commitment and I had, like, 3 or 4 hand traps in hand. And I didn't want to give my opponent too many draws. So yeah, I think these were perfect, hand trap wise. Maybe I might experiment with Bell. maybe. I don't know. I'm very actually happy with these. It's kind of one of the side deck I was very displeased with. Speaking of which, side deck time. 3 Lancia. It's kind of mandatory. With this deck having an extremely easy Ryzeal matchup, you need to heavily prepare for Malice. And I guess Ritual Beasts, hypothetically. So I kind of went in a little heavy with Malice Hate, which paid off immensely. 3 Lancia, it's just hand trap. You can also summon it off of Sanctum that you can set with Thrust. So you technically have like 7 copies of Lancia, which is perfect, in my opinion at least. 1 Scatter Shot, it was your time card with Sprint. It did not work out at all. I never sided it in because I never needed to go to time. So this is just a dead card in the side deck. In all honesty, I might swap this out and like some other cards in the side deck for Bestials for a lot of Fiendsmith that I played against, and I'm expecting a lot more Fiendsmith to pop up. 1 Harpy. It was a spell trap breaker, spell trap removal that I didn't ever run into. So yeah, 3 Thrusts. This card was broken. Every game 2 and 3, I sided it in regardless if I was going first or second. This card did so much. Just if I went first, and they hand trapped me, I went Talons. Talons, look at your hand. Oh, speaking of Talons, I never drew with this card. I always looked at people's hands so I can know what they're playing and rip a good card. So I can build my board appropriately. Like if I know their hand's bad, okay, I can at least work with it. If it's broken and it didn't matter what I took out, I prepare my anus to die. So yeah, 3 Talons, Thrust, broken. Slayer was just your removal for like Detonator and random cards, Hard Cipher, and it was okay. It wasn't broken. It worked for what it needed to do, but it could have been better. I think this should have been Eclipse, so I could have break boards way easier. Then the 1 Sanctum, I already explained it. You set it off Thrust so that Lancia isn't more live. Evenly match. This card was broken. Like, oh my god, I broke so many boards with this. This thing, I am going to continue playing. I might play 3, maybe in the side deck, so I can easily see it, but it is searchable off Thrust, so I might just keep it at 2. Mischief and Grand Pileup. Mischief was a bad call. Like, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Like, it only came up in 1 game, and in that 1 game it didn't matter because they're playing the Fiendsmith variant, and they don't care about levels with Fiendsmith, except for XYZs, but they went sequence, and it turned me into soup. So yeah, I might just turn this into, like, Daruma Cannon, so I can easily clear boards. And there's Pileup. Pileup basically just says target an XYZ on your board, and special Goblin on top of it, so you go in like Crazy Beast or Gabunga, and then you can banish it from grave to target a card in your opponent's graveyard, attach it to a Goblin, aka Gabunga or Crazy Beast. So it turns itself into a Gabunga that searches a Boommock wherever he is, so that's 1 interruption off your Gabunga, and then you can banish it to target a card in your opponent's graveyard, suck it up under Gabunga. So now you turn Gabunga into I wouldn't say a Snatch Steal, but just a removal on field and a removal in grave. That is really strong. So yeah, this card was really good. Side deck, I just wasn't happy in all honesty. I might just switch out Scattershot, Harpies, and like one of the Slayers for Bestials, and like swap out one of these for Daruma Cannon maybe? And just, I need better, more generic cards that I can use both going first and second. It's just too many specific cards that really didn't work out for what they needed to do. Next is extra deck. Desiree Necrocorp, we already know why we're playing these. It's Fiendsmith. I only summoned this like twice in Simplified Game States because any other time I go into Wave King, because this deck loves Wave King. But yeah, I only summoned this in Simplified Game States. 2 Gabunga, 1 Crazy Beast. This is the bread and butter of your deck. This thing is amazing. It's broken. It does everything you need. It literally pays your taxes for you. This card's broken. Crazy Beast, I didn't really play until like at the end, like the week prior to the tournament, and I went, okay, I'll try it out. Thank God I played it, because it literally just says a quick effect, target a spell trap on the field, suck it up by detaching 2 materials off of any monster. So you you could take random spell traps. You can take like if your opponent's playing Malice, you just suck up the Underground, or you just steal random back row, which is really strong. And also has a Dingirsu effect, where if your opponent would try to blow up your board, you just detach material instead. Now, the one part of the effect that shined for me, I'm trying to get it to work, is this last one, where if it's in your graveyard, you can special summon it and attach a Goblin to his material. So what you do is in your grind game situation, you would summon this possibly and equip a Gone Wild Engrave or attach. So now if the Crazy Beast would ever use its effect or you somehow get another material to detach from him, you just go, okay, detach the Gone Wild, then Gone Wild suck up another card under Crazy Beast. So now Crazy Beast is like 2 sucks in one go. So yeah, him being also recursion is just nuts. It's their deck's built in grind game besides Clash Exploder, which is really nice. Also, him and Lancer are best friends because what you do is you'd slap this on top of Crazy Beast and then detach the Crazy Beast in some shape or form, and then reborn the Crazy Beast, and now you have a 2700 attack monster and a 2800 attack monster going in and probably doing double damage off of Armor Fortress equipped from Full Armor XE. Nice. Speaking of which, Armor Fortress and Dark Knight Lancer. Dark Knight Lancer is honestly the MVP. He does so much. He randomly kills. Like, you drop this thing, you know you're winning because they don't know what it does. You're going to equip full armor when they try to remove it. You go, okay, I'm sucking up a card and I'm still killing you. You're reborning the Crazy Beast, so now your opponent has to deal with both a Lancer and a Crazy Beast at the same time. So yeah, these cards were broken. You'll see more in the combo when I show it. And then there's Gossip Shadow. I played this because it was the only rank 3 that helped stop hand traps that's made with 2 level 3s. It sucked in one aspect where both players got to draw a card. But that did help sometimes where, like, if I'm going first and they try, like, nibbing me, I go, okay, draw, and then, like, throw talents down, look at your hand, and remove a card, or if I feel greedy, just draw 2 more cards. But yeah, Gossip Shadow was nice. Sometimes I made it on my opponent's turn, so they didn't expect to, like, play around it when they wanted to go, like, Impermit, or when they would go Ultimate Slayer, so they didn't negate the Gossip Shadow. Then there are Link monsters, Requiem, Sequence, Moon, it's your Fiendsmith stuff. We already know how this works. Requiem equipping to Engraver, also funnily enough, procs your Lancer, because Lancer says anytime any card is equipped to any one of your monsters. So if you equip Requiem to your Engraver, ooh, look at that, Lancer gets another suck. And then I played SP, IP. These two were really nice as interruption. And one of the simple combos that you can do, it helps remove so much. And just making quick SP helped in games where I needed the quick removal and a little longevity. But yeah. And lastly, Sprint. I already kind of touched up on it. It was for time, and maybe the bounce would help, like, in case, like, I'm in time and my opponent's trying to push. I can, like, get a monster out of my grave or opponent special summons. I could bounce a card with Sprint and then use Gabunga to suck up a card, so I did double removal and I'm up in life. It makes it way harder for the opponent to win. It randomly happened, but it never happened. I should have honestly played, what's his name? I believe, yeah, Typhon. I should have played Typhon over him, so my Rizio matchup was 100% easier, or in case I got nibbed, I could just drop this, bounce the token, call it a day. So yeah. I should have just played this, so if you do try to copy this list, take out the Sprint, put in a Typhon, call it a day. Now, that is the deck. I know that was a lot of information, and hopefully that, like, if you do choose to play this, that kind of primer made sense. Now, I'm going to show you some combos that you can do with this deck, to kind of make it easier for you to understand, like, hey, what you're trying to do, and what you can do in case you draw certain cards. Give me a quick minute while I try to figure out how to use a computer. Yeah, alright, first combo. I am a genius. So this one combo is just going to go off of a singular grand entrance in your hand. The other 4 cards could be hand traps. And this is obviously going first, so we are just gonna go off of this. I will try to not make this super loud for people. So what you do is you go main phase, drop. Oh lord, there are sounds in this. You drop the grand entrance, search your Doug, and then you would normal the Doug, trigger the Doug's effect to search Breakout. You would go Breakout, activate the effect, tribute your Doug, summon out your Gone Wild. Gone Wild will now trigger, allowing you to summon Clattersplotter. Then Clattersplotter gets to activate, targeting your recently tributed Doug. And now you get to overlay these two into Gabunga. Gabunga will then trigger, searching your Boomlock. And then from here, you'll activate Boomlock, detaching specifically the Dug. Make sure it is the Dug. It cannot be any other card for this next play. Then you're going to activate your Grand Entrance Engrave. It's a graveyard effect to detach a material. Here, let me pull it up. To banish it, to detach a material, then add a goblin back from graveyard. What you're going to do is you're going to detach the Clatter Exploder you left to add back the Dug. So now you add the Dug back, so you have follow-up for next turn. Then what you're going to do is you're going to link off these two non-Gabungas into IP Masquerena. Now, you're going to go to end phase, trigger your Gabunga, and equip, well, I shouldn't say equip, attach Mean Merciless. This could also be another Gone Wild in case you want to turn Clatter Exploder into an immediate interruption. Which can happen in certain cases where your opponent's top decking, and you just want to get rid of the first thing they summon. Happens sometimes. So yeah, we're going to equip it. Now, this would be your turn. As you can see in the things now here, you added Dug back to hand, Gabunga has one material, and you have IP ready to turn into SP, and you have a Clatter Exploder ready to fire off because Clatter Exploder can detach and summon itself during the opponent's turn. Now, it's just IP and a Gabunga. That doesn't seem very intimidating. That's a suck and maybe an SP. Well, let me tell you how like powerful this can turn out of nowhere. We're gonna go into your opponent's turn. We're gonna assume they summon like a random monster. Trigger the Clatter Exploder. Clatter Exploder detach the Mean Merc. Summon Clatter Exploder. Now, you can orient your chains. Like if you want to do so, you can go Chainlink 1 Clatter Exploder, summon back Gone Wild, then Gabunga, suck a monster. You can do that immediately. So yeah, as I said in the notes, you can chain block it so they can't like bell it. And then you bring back the Gone Wild, and then here you can chain the Gone Wild. Another thing I forgot to note is when you go Gone Wild, you can also chain the Masquerena in case your opponent has like 2 guys on board. To immediately make SP, and then the monster you freshly summon off of Gone Wild can be chain blocked by SP. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, you'll summon another Dug out of deck, where in the instance where I chained SP, you link these two, make, I'm sorry, if you had IP, link these both off, make SP, and when you go to search with Dug, you also have SP as chainlink 2, so they can't Ash or Purge it. And then here, you get your search, you'll add Breakout. The reason for that is so when you go to normal your Dug and they try to like stop it with Veiler or Imperm, you chain the Breakout, get rid of it, and you get your search anyway. Next you go IP whenever you need to, go into SP Little Knight, and now here you get the instance to go SP and Gone Wild. You get the chance to suck a random card up, well I shouldn't say a random card, any card on the field, even spell traps to Gabunga, and also banish off SP, and whenever you need to, you can also banish with SP Little Knight. And then you go to end of turn, you bring back SP Little Knight, and Gabunga can also attach another guy from grave, maybe another Gone Wild, so when it goes back to your turn, you can detach with the Mean Merc and get another suck. So in the little window next, you basically end with 2 materials, well actually it's going to be 3 materials with the monster you add, most likely Gone Wild. To your Gabunga, you have 2 banishes done with SP Little Knight. You've also searched more follow-up in regards to Breakout, and you already have the Dug, so your board's really strong. Like, if they hypothetically cleared everything, you still have mega combo with this longevity bring back, like summon out a Clatter Exploder and just full combo again. You also have Boomlock ready alive again on the next turn, so you can turn Gabunga into more interruption. Again, like I said, this board was very like unassuming with just IP and Gabunga, and it spiraled into, okay, you have full combo next turn, you removed like 4 cards off your opponent's field, and you just have a lot of bodies, and you have more follow-up. Like, and this is just off of 1 single Grand Entrance. If you did start with Dug, you wouldn't have to add it back Dug. In that case, you would just search Grand Entrance again. But no, this combo is just nuts. It's way better than like people think. So yeah, that's it for that combo. We're gonna move on to the next one. This one will involve Fiendsmith stuff, if I remember how to do things. Yeah, I think it was. Oh, weird. That one, yeah. Okay, so this one will involve a Terror Top or any rank 3 play that doesn't require your normal summon, which can also be Xiamen summon off of Teleport. So yeah, let's move on to the next stuff. So we're gonna special Terror Top, trigger its effect, search Takatom, and then Takatom activates effect. Well, I shouldn't say activate, but you go into Gabunga, then you activate Gabunga, you will search your Doug, and then you're going to overlay into your Armor Fortress. Trigger Armor Fortress, and here you'll search your Armor Trap. This will be more relevant later. Now you go Doug effect, detach, whichever one you want. Use this effect to search specifically Breakout. Now you can overlay into Moon. Now, one thing I will mention, in case you get nibbed, or they try to stop anything in this combo with like a Veiler, Imperm, anything, you have a Breakout to tribute said monster that is going to be targeted or tributed, often, or the Nibiru token, to do full Goblin combo that I showed you in the previous combo, with a followed up Armored XYZ. So please, like I said, it's a very low investment combo. The last one was a very low investment combo. They can just get off of just a singular Breakout, which I think is perfectly fine. So you can always have a fallback combo in case you needed to do this preemptively. But let's get to the next plays. We summon out Requiem, trigger Requiem, summon out Lacrima. This is a prime target where they would try to stop, so you go Breakout here. You do that, you would chain the Breakout actually to the effect, just in mind. And I need also put it right here. In the text box, here we summon Gone Wild, and then we would activate Gone Wild, summon out the Clatter, then Clatter activates effect. Here we're going to summon out Gabunga, and then we activate Engraver, put back Moon, summon out Engraver, and here we can overlay into Wave King. So now we have Nibiru proof in this combo, which is awesome. Next we're going to just link those two off for IP, and we're going to set our full armor. Now, like the last combo, this seems very unassuming. Instead of just a Gabunga, now we have a set full armor and a Wave King, and kind of the same setup engraved, but now we have a Lacrima instead of just Clatter. Now you're thinking, oh, this isn't much. Sure, you'll get a Lacrima summon, send another Engraver, maybe Mega SP, and you have two negates with Wave King. That's pretty good off of one card, but no, it gets better. So we're gonna go into opponent's turn, hypothetically. So, you can do one of two things here. You can do it like an immediate negate with the Wave King if you need to. But I like to jumpstart it with Clatter Exploder right away. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Always in your standby or draw phase, never your main phase, activate Lacrima, because your opponent won't be able to talents right away and steal like your Wave King. So yeah, activate Lacrima, summon Requiem, and now you just have the body you need, and then Requiem, I mean, you're supposed to do this in main phase, but summon out Lacrima, dump Engraver. So yeah, you'll have the Requiem right away. Now we go to main phase. Now, this is where shenanigans can happen. You could, again, just do Wave King immediately. I like to do Clatter Exploder first, but just want to show the option that you can do this. So we Clatter Exploder. I'm going to just do the combo where like you Clatter Exploder, detach the Engraver to summon it, just so we're on the same page. And then we Clatter Exploder, summon out the Gabunga from Graveyard. And now, say we Wave King negate a special, we detach the Gone Wild, and then Gone Wild activate, suck a monster your opponent already has on board. So say they like normal something and they special summon another guy, you Wave King negate the special, and you suck up that monster that was normal summoned to Gabunga. And Gabunga will trigger because you detached a material off a Wave King to suck on another card. So you actually can suck two monsters off of this. Now you're like, okay, that's it. You negated a special and you got two sucks. Cool. And you can make SP Limelight. That's neat. There's more. There is way more. Oh, and this is just me trying to go off of what I just kind of reiterated earlier. And now we can IP, get rid of Lacrima, go into SP, get a Banish, and then now, this is where the fun comes in. We have full armored XYZ. Here we can rank up our used up Wave King into a Night Lancer, and then we can immediately use it whenever we need to equip the Armor Fortress to get another attach off of Night Lancer, because whenever a card's equipped to Night Lancer, you target a monster on field, put him to him as material, which is really nice. Now, you can also SP banish a card, and now this is where a funny trick that a lot of people forget about, even some Goblin players, is that Breakout has a secondary effect where any monster tries to battle, you can banish it from grave, detach any materials from any Goblin monster that's an XYZ, and reduce the attack by 1 to 2,000, 1,000 per material. In this instance, your Kabunga is already going to have 2 because of both the Gone Wild you used earlier in the combo and the one you sucked up after detaching with Caesar. So it's going to have 2 materials. So if you want to, you can leave this in attack, and if they try attack like a Clatter or Kabunga, you activate the Breakout and drop their attack by 2,000 and they die. You can also save this, hypothetically, until your opponent's battle phase, like equipping the Armor Fortress. So you can equip it to Kabunga. So when they attack it, you go, okay, activate Breakout, drop your attacks by 2,000, chain the trap, equip Armor Fortress to Kabunga. So now it's at 4,600 with double damage. So if they go to like 1,000 or less, they die. Like well, I shouldn't say 1,000, but like 800 or less, they straight up die just from their own attack. But yeah. And then end phase, your SP comes back, and you attach another card to Kabunga. So you can attach another Gone Wild, and or a Boomlock. I forgot you can attach a Boomlock too if you want. So we had all that interruption. Another thing you can do instead of going like Armor Fortress, like Clatter Splitter or something back Kabunga, you can summon back the Dug. Then Dug gets an add like a Grand Entrance for follow up, and then you activate the XYZ card to make Gossip Shadow. So you had a monster negate, or you make another Kabunga. Oh my god, big Kabunga with the Clatter Splitter and the Dug to search Boomlock in hand. So you had a different version of interruption. It just depends on how you wanted to play your opponent's turn out, what you expect them, what they're gonna do. Which I think is a perfectly sound thing. But this is a version of the combo that I think is just gonna be overall pretty good. You had a lot of interruption. You had 2 banishes off SP, 2 sucks off of Kabunga and Gone Wild, 1 suck of a Lancer, and you just kind of you had 1 to 2 negates with Wave King, and you kind of just murked them with Spell Card if they try to beat over anything. And if you play Paradise, you can send Desiree and just send a card on board to grave. This is a very strong turn off of just 1 Terror Top. So yeah. So yeah, that is the 2 combos, 1 involving Fiendsmith, 1 not involving Fiendsmith. These are just like the go-to combos I already did in the tournament. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys kind of how my reasoning for certain cards and the combos I did, and how I kind of went about with the tournament with them, and just some example combos if you do choose to play this, and what to expect if you go against these variants. If you guys did enjoy the video, remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos, and please check out the TCG store in the description of the Grind TCG, which is my sponsor. I appreciate you guys and hope you guys have a great day. Alright, so this is a deck profile of a deck profile of a deck profile of a deck profile. Look at a shiny card, really cool card. Yep, tiny cool card, awesome.